Gigi, here we are back. Oh,
we have a guest analyst here today.
I'm seeing double.
that will help us out.
Oh,
with
wow.
our picks.
Oh wow! I didn't know. 2 Gigis.
Well, we need all the facts we can get.
2 Gig.
I figured 2 of me is better than 1.
You know what? We've been saying we need a fact checker because sometimes we be straight up wrong. Name wrong, school wrong. Okay, we got somebody new on the payroll. Yeah. Didn't realize, but glad to have you.
Good analyst is hard to find.
I hope you had a good orientation, dear sir or madam. Gigi, we always on top of everything, but behind the 8 ball. If you ask me.
Yeah.
So this week we said we were going to do a video. We didn't do a video. I blame myself because after the show last week, there were some jarring headlines.
Oh, you said that.
I got some headlines for you. Now, mind you, these headlines came out on October 21st on ESPN. Did I read the articles? No, I'm a headline reader. Mind your business. Utah's offensive coordinator stepped down.
Utah.
Cam Rising's Utah. Well,
say
Cam Rising State, we should call it, because he's been there for so long. Now,
it doesn't surprise me.
It doesn't surprise me, but you almost want to be like, who decided to keep Cam Rising? Because you could have kept Bryson Barnes as your QB1 or not, and he left, and now look at you. Who recruited Luke Wilson?
Who's Luke Wilson?
Isaac Wilson?
I don't know.
Whoever the QB2 is. Okay, I'm going to move you on. Oklahoma fired their offensive coordinator.
Didn't surprise me there either.
Didn't surprise me, but again, after what I heard yesterday, I got some things about Oklahoma. We'll put a pin in it. Southern Miss fired their head coach, but that's because he has a 14-30 record. So he must have been there for, what's that, 4 and a half years? Going into his 4th year? Southern, you don't know Southern Miss, so that's why.
No,
okay.
No.
Do you remember Texas-Georgia game? They were throwing those bottles on the field.
Yes.
And there was no penalty call.
Nothing.
They got fined $250,000.
Nah, it doesn't make the pain go away.
They just wanted the money.
That's all they want.
You could have gave them a penalty and called it a day. You just wanted to get...
And got the money.
Well, you could have did both. That's very true, too.
True.
I seen this one today. Rice fired their head coach after a 2-6 start. But since when is Rice a football school? What was you expecting?
Where was Rice at?
Why were they supposed to be higher?
Were they in the top 25?
I mean,
let me check that. Fact checker.
Rice.
Okay.
Rice. No. I'm like, you really too.
Are you too good? Are you too cool for school? You got fired. The coach calls you 2-6. You better hang on to what you can.
I don't know. Maybe he made promises. I don't know. I thought that was weird.
He couldn't keep. That
and then the other thing that affected the games yesterday was that Indiana's quarterback was ruled out. He hurt his thumb. Okay. And I will take you to my immediate thought was, oh snap, will Washington have a chance? Remember, Washington beat Michigan. And I know Michigan's 4-3. You don't have to tell me. Trust me. I know. But, they played good against Michigan. So I thought, will they have a chance?
Against who?
Will Washington have a chance against number 13 Indiana?
No. Quarterback hurt no quarterback.
Well, we say that.
Come on.
Utah. Okay. We say that. It doesn't matter. Yes, and then
Vandy, Alabama, I better hush my mouth.
No, their quarterbacks are fine. Yeah. But I'm saying is we say, the quarterback doesn't matter.
Yeah, he does.
Quarterback goes out, you got winning, and people start getting fired.
Look at Missouri. Brady Cook.
Okay, you jumped ahead, but that's exactly what I was going to say.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
You all right. Okay, so Indiana, Washington. Okay. The QB2 was in, and it didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
Did we say it didn't matter? It did not matter. So Indiana remains undefeated, one of a selected few, which we'll talk about later. Speaking of quarterbacks, how did How did Syracuse do versus number 19 Pitt? Your boy Kyle McCord.
My boy Kyle. You know, like you say, everybody has a bad day. He didn't have a bad day. He had a horrendous day.
He had an awful day.
And
what did he end up with?
I do not know.
How many interceptions?
Oh, 3 interceptions. He only had 3 the whole year. Came out with 3 interceptions, a fumble, a pick.
I think he ended up with more than 3.
Well, he might have. All I can remember is the dude laying on the ground, somebody tipped it, and the Pittsburgh dude laying on the ground caught it.
Now, 2 of them, if you ask me, were not his fault.
They were not his fault.
They were not his fault, but
they happened nonetheless.
Then they still give him credit for it, unfortunately. Kyle McCord had 5 interceptions.
Unfortunately.
He had 5. Now, he threw for 321 yards.
Didn't matter.
5 interceptions.
It ended up 41-13.
I thought that Syracuse was going to be a better opponent for Pitt.
I did too. I thought they was going to give them a run for their money. Because Pitt is, at the time, it was ranked, what did I say?
Number 19.
Number 19.
Yep, still. And Pitt is one of the elite undefeated. Through week 9. Where are we at?
That is correct.
Week 9?
We headed into week 10.
We headed to week 10.
Yeah.
I don't have much to say. I will say, when we were watching the game, and I think it was his 3rd or 4th interception, head coach for Syracuse, Fran Brown, made sure he grabbed him up and looked like he was being encouraging to him. And I love that. I know the announcer said it, but I said it first. Please trust me. I said, keep throwing. Get back on the horse.
Yeah.
Keep throwing because, you're not going to get better by being scared to throw if you're a throwing quarterback just because you have a bad day. You have, some interceptions. So, that was...
Kyle was his guy.
Yeah.
He stayed with him.
Yeah. Speaking of undefeated teams, Liberty was undefeated going into week 9, and they got upset by your boys at Kennesaw State.
Oh, God.
Kennesaw State got their first win of the season, and Liberty got their first loss of the season. We didn't watch it, but I know you love Kennesaw State secretly. Secretly. Some of the games stop me if I'm going too fast.
No.
We were excited about some of them. We thought we were going to get some, and then there was a lot of surprises.
A lot of surprises.
Right? Notre Dame Navy.
Not surprises, disappointments. Notre Dame Navy.
Talk about it.
I thought, this is going to be a test for Notre Dame.
It's a rivalry.
A rivalry.
We wanted to be competitive again.
I thought this was going to be it. I'm going to see what Notre Dame is all about.
I
had not watched Navy.
Undefeated.
Yeah. Them and Army at the top of their division.
Yep.
And it started out like bang bang, and all of a sudden there was a fumble, there was an interception, and the next thing I know it was.
Marcus Freeman said, "I'm not about to get fired."
That was his battle cry.
I am not about to get fired. Yeah, number 12 Notre Dame. They played at a neutral site versus number 24 Navy. I thought it was going to be a better game. I think the score ended up being 44-14 or something crazy. I was disappointed in that one.
51 to something.
Okay, well, I was disappointed in that one.
I was too.
Bringing up the disappointment. Gonna try to hold in my rage.
Hold it in.
Number 4 Ohio State versus Nebraska.
Oh, please.
Now, Nebraska is 5-2.
Yes, ma'am.
Or was 5-2.
I got you.
I would like to remind you that Alabama's 5-2.
That don't make no difference.
Ohio State 5-1.
That doesn't make no difference.
Ohio State's number 4.
Don't make no difference.
And
you got to go out there and play. Proceed.
Who you think somebody went out there and didn't play? They got out there and like, Coach, I'm just not gonna play. I'm just gonna stay in here.
The part of the games that I watched, it was like ho hum, another day at the office. But I'm gonna let you continue. Please do continue.
No, you keep going. Actually, I want to hear this because you are a so-called Ohio State fan.
Not.
Give it to me.
Not so fast, my friend. You can be a fan, but hey, all right, let's go. Here, give me an example. We was watching the Michigan State game. I said, poor little people, they out there.
Michigan no, let's stay focused on Ohio.
All right, I'll stay focused. They know Michigan has problems. That don't mean they're not a fan, but Michigan has problems. Ohio State, and Ryan Day said it in the press conference. We won it in the fourth quarter, and we got by, but it shouldn't have came to that. And he said, "Oh, we knew Nebraska was going to come out gunning for us because they lost 50-something to 7 to Indiana." And I'm thinking, "Oh, Ohio State going to do the same thing." No, they did not. 3 out, 3 and out, 3 and out. And then this is the kicker, and I want everybody to remember this. We could not run. And I thought, what do you mean you could not run? They got good receivers, but the rushing, Travion Henderson had something like 29 yards, 10 carries, 29. You touched the ball 10 times. They were averaging 2-point-something yards a carry. Ohio State, number 4 in the nation? Give me a break. That's all I have to say. I mean, they acknowledged it. They know it's there.
I thought you said that's all you had to say.
Well, I did have to put a couple of things. But Ryan Day said, and we watched it, and the one guy said they lack, I said grit.
What do you
aggressiveness. Say? They lack something.
No, I want to know what you said. Tell me what Ryan Day said. You tell me what the announcer said. What does he say?
It doesn't look like the old Ohio State. It doesn't look like the Ohio State we know. It doesn't look like the Ohio State that we know comes out in that field and just grinds it out and it will take you down.
Okay, let me tell you where I agree with you because it's only so much. I do agree that there is some kind of lack of aggression from the defense, but I do not want to go hard on the defense.
Defense is holding
because
on.
You just said ain't no aggression. Who's supposed to be aggressive? Offense?
What's the offense supposed to be doing? You can't go 3 and out, and then the defense keep trying to hold you in.
Offense should be composed. Defense should be out for blood.
Not that composed.
No, I didn't say they. Okay. Oh, goodness gracious. Offense should come out composed.
Score.
Defense should. I'll let you just finish the show.
You want to say a few words?
Okay. Defense should come out for blood. Offense should come out composed, precision, slicing, butcher precision.
Mm-hmm.
Defense, hack it up, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be too hard on defense because defense end up saving the game yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I need to understand. This is what I don't know. So I agree with you on the aggression part. Mm-hmm. What I don't agree with is this is not the old Ohio State. This is the old Ohio State. This is Ohio State. Ohio State, just like yesterday, you tried to bring up Saban. Oh, Saban would never.
I didn't say that. Did I say that?
Well, we were talking about you compare. My point is you compare to the old when it's not accurate. People always remember history with a beautiful glare and 20 filters on it, and that's not the case. Ohio State has had struggles before. This is a new team put together this year. Nobody ever brings that part up. And I'm not trying to make excuses. What I was trying to say is get to the bottom of where's the problem. Because it's not the talent. It's not the coaching. Ryan Day is a great coach. You got Chip Kelly on the OC. The defense is doing their job. They've only had, if you ask me, the defense wasn't 100% against Oregon. Especially in the secondary, and they started off slow against Marshall, not counting for game 1 because across the board, all games, all teams, everybody had a slow week 1, which is fine. So defense is doing their thing. I need to know what is the problem. But I will not let you sit here and act like Ohio State is going down to 2. They're freaking number 4 in the country. They have 1 loss to a freaking ranked team who was right under them in the country, and they were at home. So you sitting here acting like Michigan's not 4-3, Bama's not 5-2, and people are dropping out of the rankings every day.
Well,
I'm so sorry. They didn't hit your glasses there.
Well, I don't want to jump ahead, but we'll see. They got Penn State next week.
They got Penn State. If Ohio State gets it together this week, and to me, I promise you, it's an easy problem to fix. Because there's no way. You have Travion Henderson. You also have Jabari Smith. Right? Is that his name?
Jeremiah.
No, not Jeremiah Smith. Who's the runner? Something Jabari. He came from either Ole Miss or they don't have several. You just said they couldn't get the run game going, so they wouldn't have several.
Rushing. Receivers
Same
all
thing.
there.
Travion Henderson's a rusher. He's not a receiver. Abuka's a receiver. Jeremiah Smith is a receiver. Cardell Tate had a great game. He's a receiver. Where's he been all year? It's the other new guy.
Okay. I got O'Shawn Judkins.
Judkins, thank you.
Okay.
Judkins is another rusher. He came from Ole Miss or something like that.
He got 29 yards rushing yards.
Okay, great. This is Big Ten. This is Big Ten defense. This is Big Ten football. Why wasn't they throwing the ball?
That's another problem, I'm thinking.
I think
that's another problem.
I think that
I agree with you.
I think they made one too many comments about Will Howard's interceptions because he was getting like at least one a game. And I think either he got self-conscious or they wanted to scale back. But that is silly to me. Because if you're not trying, you're not getting an interception unless you're throwing the ball, right? People, you can still win with interceptions. Carson Beck's had 2 games with 3 interceptions. Yeah. He's supposed to go number 1 or number 2 in the entire draft for quarterbacks next year. So you can't, I think you have to, your words are important. You have to be careful. Now, Will Howard is a seasoned quarterback. However, he came from Kansas State. Kansas State is not big on the stage of football at the level, nowhere near the level of Ohio State. So, what are you doing? What are you saying? Who's calling the plays? And why are you calling the plays like you're calling them?
I want to talk to Ryan Day.
Then why you didn't call him and have him call in? Your analyst should have set up the meeting.
You should have. I'm going to put this on you. Okay. And like you said, they did say the one thing about getting to your point of Will Howard and throwing. And I think it was Joy Galloway said, he doesn't have a lot of flashy yards, but he's big when you need him. There was 2 plays in that fourth quarter that set up that touchdown. Boom, boom, actor, bam, bam, he's there. I went, why don't they do it?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Something's not right.
Hopefully they get it worked out.
You know what I'm saying? You know how you can say like, oh, it's a new coach, and I know Will Howard's new to the team, and maybe that's what we missing. Maybe everybody assumes like, oh, you spent this quote unquote $20 million, which it wasn't $20 million. You spent $20 million, like that don't mean nothing. We seen Making the Band. Yeah. We seen that don't work out. No Diddy. We ain't gonna talk about it. That don't always work out just because you put a bunch of talent in a room. Pussycat Dolls, they don't automatically just produce something amazing, right?
Yes.
Okay, we'll move on because it wasn't an exciting game. Ohio State was a 25-point favorite. They only won by 5. A win is a win, but I need the Buckeyes to clean it up, and I need them to clean it up yesterday. I need you to clean it up. Because if you're being honest, Ohio State's a great effing team.
They are.
A great effing team. You can't say... and I know maybe I'll give you one chink, and I don't know if it's still the case. I know one of the games they had like a new left tackle, or there was a weak side because the left tackle was the normal guy was out. But guess what? We say it all the time. Everybody's got people out, which brings me to little Oklahoma. Okay, so Oklahoma, unranked Oklahoma, who has been getting beat up on, played number 18 Ole Miss.
Oh yeah, sure.
Now. I first want to say Oklahoma was hanging in the beginning.
They were.
The score was very low at halftime. I think it was maybe 14-7. I'm probably wrong. That's okay. But here is what I wanted to bring it up because Ole Miss ends up winning by a good margin, and Oklahoma still got their woes. Oklahoma has 5 wide receivers that are either out for the season or weren't playing yesterday.
Wow. That's half your team over
there. They said that yesterday they were on their 3rd or 4th O-line, what do you call it?
Rotation?
Thank you. Different people. Like not the same guys out there, right?
Right.
They said it's the 10th rotation of the year, of the season.
Wow. They
said they're on their 4th center. 4 centers in 8 games. And as you and I know, we talked about on the show, they had pulled Jackson Jackson Arnold.
Jackson Arnold.
Sorry.
Okay.
Ole Miss's Dart did great yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Ole Miss got it together. Ole Miss's defense, Oklahoma couldn't keep up. They hung the first half, they couldn't keep up. But when I heard that yesterday, and then I went back to the old headline, like, why would you fire the OC? Now, maybe the difference was if they had the old OC, they wouldn't even hung in the first half. Right. I don't know. But you got all these things that are just, you can't help that. You can't help that.
You don't foresee all your people getting hurt.
One of the star receivers yesterday was a true freshman who was an invited walk-on.
That's their
Jordan.
They gonna put me in there next week. Shoot, I won't just walk up and say, I'll play coach.
You didn't get the invite?
Oh,
did you check her email? Did you get an invite?
I want to check them email.
You should get an invite. But
Yeah,
I just said all that to say I want to give Oklahoma kudos because we all talk about woes and who we got missing and one person is hurt and oh man, our coach, and it's like they've been dealing with a lot because we know Oklahoma's a good program.
They started out in the top 25 the first week.
Yes,
and I think they fell out maybe second or third week, but
yes, they did.
It's just one of those things that happen.
Right.
And
people start getting hurt.
They get the quarterback woes. Like you said, and
I don't think they had an easy schedule either.
They might not have. I don't.
I have to look, but I think they've played some ranked teams. Oklahoma's name has come up. Well, you got the Red River rivalry, so you played number 1 Texas. Now you're playing number 18 Ole Miss. Now wait a minute. Here's the other thing. Welcome to the SEC.
Oh yeah,
maybe you shouldn't have left the Big 12. You can't run with the big dogs.
You got to stay on the porch.
Stay on that goddamn porch. Okay, now there were 2 games that we were jazzed about. 2 of them we said, oh my God, like the most jazzed about. We talked about last week.
Okay.
One of them was jazzy, for sure. One of them was not jazzy at all.
All right, which ones?
Not jazzy. We want to talk about, this is so weird to say, number 15 Alabama and number 21 Missouri.
Now, here we go with that quarterback stuff again.
Missouri got shut out.
Brady, I didn't think that was going to happen. I didn't see that either.
Not even a field goal.
Brady Cook, if you guys remember from last week, got hurt, sprained his ankle, went to the hospital, came back 2 hours later, jumped in the game, won it for him in the last few seconds.
At home for homecoming.
Brady Cook thought he could go out, but you could see he was off. And he couldn't scramble, couldn't really run, and he couldn't throw. And then we later learned they took him out. He has a hand injury.
I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked.
Because he was thrown off. And I'm like, either he's nervous or he's worried about his foot or whatever.
Right.
And then it came down to they said, injury to his hand. And I went, okay. Well, it was all Alabama anyway. I mean, they came back. Remember, that was one of the questions we were asking ourselves. Are they going to bounce back? What did you think?
I thought they bounced back. Somebody yesterday quoted Harborough, I guess one time after a game Michigan lost in the last few years. He made a comment that somebody's got to pay. So they were referring to the Vandy, Texas game. But this also could apply to this game because Bama should not have lost against Tennessee last week. Right?
Lost against Vandy.
Shouldn't have lost against Vandy.
I thought
dramatic pause.
But
I really felt bad for Missouri. Missouri was in the top 10 last week. Last year they clawed their way up. They were in the mix, and then this year they were okay. We ain't gonna get y'all the same because you got Brady Cook, but you don't have a receiver who was so great last year. He went to the NFL, so they were a little bit lower and just,
drop zone.
You gotta drop out. Unfortunately, you'll have to drop out, but you just like, gosh dang it, this is Brady Cook's last year. You know what I mean? He was fighting, and so but you can't fight against your body though.
Right. No, you ain't gonna win.
Okay.
But the one
now
thing
go ahead.
The one thing, just to hold your little thought. The one thing like you said, we watched quite a bit of it. They still didn't look. Now, tell me if I'm wrong. They still didn't look quite the Alabama. Now, Jalen Milroe picked up. I thought he had moments. He didn't have brilliance all the whole game. He had moments though. Mm-hmm. So they won. They shut him out. And like we always say, would it have been a different story?
At least don't get shut out.
At least don't get shut out.
You know what I mean?
Score 3 points.
I think Bama is similar. Well, not similar to Ohio State, right? They lost a big chunk.
Yeah.
And as much as I think you could have a smooth transition, because like I said, I think Kalen DeBauer is a great coach. He turned around that Washington program like nobody's business. Mm-hmm. And but you gotta acknowledge freaking somebody been there whatever 17 years or whatever. The thing is I'm curious now. Now I need to be in all of the coaches' rooms and the locker room.
Okay.
What happened when he came in? Did they change the playbook? Because somebody made a comment a few weeks ago like, oh, these they have to get used to the new systems, and I'm like, What new systems?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
My thing is when you start a new job, of course you go in and you see they probably do a few things that are inefficient, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like this takes way too long. But you don't go in and try to change everything.
You just flip the card.
You go in and you try to change what everybody else is also upset about, right? If everybody loves the coffee maker that you have to kick twice because it makes great coffee,
right,
then you don't go for that. You go for whatever the people don't like, the parking situation, whatever the case. So I'm curious if they try to go in there and just install some kind of new way of life, but it's like you got to ease into that.
You can't just jump it.
A lot of the guys were saying, you know, if either people were there and they coached under Saban or they committed under Saban. Right. Jalen Milborough was under Saban, and so to come in with a new coach is already a culture shock.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever seen the side-by-side pictures of Nick Saban's office versus Kayla DeBauer's office.
No.
Stark night and day. As you could tell, it's just a new entire era. You know, Nick's got the wood grain and furniture, and you know what I mean. And just like classic old coach, you would think. And then his is like modern, and you know, there's lights and Bama logos everywhere, and so no judgment, just different. But you gotta approach it smartly.
Yeah.
But Bama got the win. I'm very happy for them because everybody's been very well. I don't know about everybody. But the one with the Jazz.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, that Jazz.
Ooh, yes.
Number 8 LSU versus number 14 Texas A&M in College Station. I love the Aggies all black uniforms. I never seen them before. Mind you, this is this coach's first year. I can never think of it. Mike Elko?
I can't think of his name either. We gotta start getting better with them coaches. We got to.
I think it's Mike Elko for some reason. And BK, Brian Kelly. Who I love me some Brian Kelly.
I don't know what.
I love me some Brian Kelly. And both teams already have one loss, so I didn't care who won. They're both undefeated in the SEC. So I didn't really care who won. But we watching and we yelling for everybody per usual. But let me tell you what turned my tide. You know what turned my tide?
Tell them what turned the tide.
Well, you tell, because I think it put a bad taste in your mouth too.
No. Well,
am I being aggressive? Am I Ohio State? Do you want some? I can bottle it up and send it to you. I have tons.
You know what? It was getting a little chippy, and
of course,
Nussmeier, the
quarterback for LSU.
Well, they were rolling. Quarterback for LSU getting a little chippy. I didn't get number 5's name.
That's okay.
They're hitting, they're driving. And they stand next to each other after they've got a penalty. And number 5 is standing next to Nussmeier. And he just, boom. Nussmeier fell like a wet noodle.
You're giving Nussmeier too much credit.
He did. He felt like Joe Frazier.
No.
He just flopped.
Nussmeier threw a pass. They called pass interference. However, Nussmeier was talking big shit.
I think
he was talking shit because his head was moving, and so number 5 for A&M hit a little chest bump. Boom. And you would have thought Mike Tyson hit Nussmeier. He just fell off. Yeah, I
can't do it as well as he did.
I don't like that.
Well, neither did they, because they threw that penalty on number 5, of course.
Of course.
And, just like that one guy swung him last week, and they didn't catch it.
They threw the penalty. And number 5 was salivating still.
Solid. He had to take him on the sideline.
No, they did not take him out.
They did take
he
him
said
out.
He was salivating. He was trying to take Nussmeier's head off in the game.
He said he'd take anybody's head.
Oh, and I said, this is what I'm talking about.
But
you were talking, you're going to let me talk. I love when you do that. I'm going to start doing that to you. I'm going to do it right now. Does she do that to you too? Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I keep talking now.
But then they show us what they didn't tell us before this whole interaction, after this whole thing, and we're like, oh my God, I love the aggression. Come on, number 5. That's what we want Ohio State defense to be. Salivating, like you just trying to take somebody's head off. I love it. I love it. They show a clip before the game. They got into a scuffle. While they was practicing, LSU and Texas A&M got to a scuffle. Who was in the middle of it? Number 5. Number 5, Texas A&M. My guy, we should start doing our favorite player of the week.
Wait a minute. What I enjoyed was, here are these big 300, 200, 6-foot guys and the little coordinators are jumping in between them.
Oh.
It was like a ping pong ball. Boom, boom.
They was trying.
Boom. He was trying.
They was trying.
And I went, you want to get in the middle of them two fools? Let them scrap.
Well, if they would fight, then they would
have been able to play the game.
Yeah.
But point being, you turn that team around.
Yep. And guess what? We always say, hey, sometimes it's one little thing and it just ignites the fire. And I think that ignited the bananas out of Texas A&M because they went on and they whooped up on little LSU, and there was nothing they could do with that Reed kid.
That's what I'm saying.
There was nothing they could do with that Reed kid.
They took Wegman out. He had only had one touchdown and blah, blah, blah. So they took Wegman out. They put in Marcel Reed, and they said it. I said, that was all the spark they needed. They do bring him in from time to time, and they say they need a line drive. That kid started throwing that. I think he's a freshman. I gotta look it up. That kid started throwing the ball. He started running, and guess what happened? The play of the game, and I thought it was so smart. You know how they turned and they passed the ball up to the. We counted 1001, 1002, 1003. He yanks the ball out and runs in for a touchdown. Everybody thinks the guy got it. He runs that way. Reese just
You know what? I got so wrapped up in the game. I was so excited.
Yeah.
I missed the fact that until I said it right now, they couldn't stop Reed. I was thinking, wait, he's not the quarterback. Wegman is. And then I it just hit me right now. It was in my head like, oh shit, did he get hurt? And then you just explained it.
Now, he might have got hurt, but I don't think he remember. He was just saying it on the sideline.
Wegman might have lost his job.
They said Coach pulled him, and I thought, well, maybe he did get hurt. That's what I thought too. Maybe I have to look that up.
Or maybe A&M is just one of those teams that's figured out the two quarterback thing.
Because he does come in, they say
sometimes you need Wegman, sometimes you need a little scrappy dappy like Reed.
Yeah.
Jesus.
He's not very
big. He's not big at all. Okay. Wow. Good coaching though. Something's not working. I don't have to have an ego. My quarterback doesn't have to have an ego where guess what? Today is not your best day at work. I got somebody for you. Don't you wish you had a backup at work? Shit, I do.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it today. Bring in a backup. I still get my same money.
I got my backup.
And I got...
If I'm not here, they'll take them.
Okay, you have a backup. I got to get one. Okay, I got to get one. Great game, though.
Great game.
Great freaking game. Game of the day for me.
That was the game for the day
well,
not well.
Game of the day.
Might have been.
Because I always love a good scrap. But... I don't know if you remember, we watched number 22 SMU and Duke play yesterday.
We counted Duke out.
I did not count Duke out.
I counted Duke out.
Duke and SMU were both 6-1 going into yesterday. Yeah. Duke was 3-1 in conference play. SMU's 4-0 in ACC conference play. Fine. SMU has this not Ashton. His last name's Jennings.
Yeah, I know.
He runs all over the place.
Is that the hair?
No.
That's not hair.
No. Dark skinned chocolate young man.
Okay.
Braids. Yeah. We watched him play, I think, Arizona or somebody a few weeks back. Just a crazy runner. I think he had a big, almost close like the Navy. Like he had a big 75-yard, like they're the quarterback with a 75-yard touchdown.
Wow. We pause for a moment. We pause for a commercial, folks.
I thought it was going to be a good game.
I wish I took notes.
It was
I just didn't think about it.
Disappointing. No, the thing that was just so disappointing, I guess, it came down to the last 3
seconds.
Duke has the ball. It's tied. Yes?
Fought back and tied it.
Tied. And they go to kick the field goal. Field goal's blocked.
I cried.
There's a lot of shitty kicking yesterday.
It was, yeah.
Like dude from
please.
LSU, the snapper snapped the ball. He wasn't looking.
No, hit him right in the shoulder.
Wasn't looking, and then Holder gave up immediately. The poor little kicker fell on the ball. Poor little kicker fell on the ball. What in the entire? It was heartbreaking.
Heartbreaking, and SMU ends up winning it. 28-27.
Does SMU deserve to be 22 or ranked at all?
No. We didn't look at the rankings. We want to be surprised.
Yeah, but based on that performance, should they be dropped out?
Or should they just go to the drop zone? I don't know if they'd be dropped out because there was 2 teams that lost below them.
You got lucky.
You got lucky.
You got lucky.
Navy and Vandy lost.
You got lucky.
And Army didn't play.
More exciting news yesterday.
How can we get more exciting?
For the first time, I don't know, I think first time since 2016, I was going to hype it up. First time since 2016, Colorado is bowl eligible.
Oh, yes.
They played Cincinnati yesterday in Colorado.
Yep, that's kudos. Just
and
throw it out there.
They looked great.
They did. They had new uniforms.
And the uniforms I liked. And let's talk about, I feel like I don't get to catch Cincinnati enough because I know Cincinnati is a halfway decent football program. And
tough.
They look good.
They're big.
That defense? Wow. I was like, oh no. I've been hoping. I've been hoping. Let Deion go to a bowl. They promised Miss Peggy a bowl. Yeah. If last year all he had to do was have 2 wins, he got that. He got 4. This year he just got to get 6 wins. Get him to a bowl for Miss Peggy.
Got it yesterday.
Well, bowl eligible. But then they said yesterday, Miss Peggy said, "Don't give me to just any bowl. Get me to a shiny bowl." So that means you gotta have a better. You gotta do better than 6 and 6. Well, because you have to be careful because if so many teams are 6 and 6, which longer and longer. If so many teams are 6 and 6, then they'll have to start eliminating and doing the whole thing.
Committee?
The bowl, the same people do the bowl, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they do the bowl. So if you only have, let's say you have, I just know it's more, but say you have 10 bowls.
Yeah.
That means you got 20 teams.
Yeah.
Well, what if you got 25 teams who have 6 and 6 or better, but didn't get into the
that happened 12. Last year, I think.
Right?
Right.
Last year I don't think so. I think everybody got a bowl.
That was 6 and 6.
I think so.
6 and, well, okay.
I think so. But or you know what? Maybe it didn't. You might be right. I think somebody did mention there was so many teams.
For some reason, Liberty came to mind. I don't know why.
I feel like Liberty was sweeter than that, though. But anyway, we digress.
We
digress, and so very exciting. That was a good game. That was a good late game. Sometimes we don't get a good late game. The late games kind of fizzle out.
Yeah, we do.
So you said you want to give me rankings before I say what I want to see next week.
Well, you can do it either way.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I haven't checked what I want to see next week.
Okay, I have.
So,
I was ready.
Well, let's let you go.
No, you go. You get your teams.
I don't have any.
You don't have any teams?
No, I didn't look at any of the games because I didn't want to be spoiled by the rankings.
Well, here's week 10 if you want to just glance through that.
Well, no, because I don't want to see the rankings.
Well, these aren't the rankings. They haven't got the rankings here yet.
Why?
Sometimes they.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes they.
No, they do have rankings. I don't see.
Yeah, but that's last week's rankings.
Okay, can you give me rankings?
Okay, you want to give me rankings, then we'll do rankings, and then you can pick who you like. Okay, Scream. Oh no, I lost it. Did I lose it? I think I did.
You got it.
Where?
Okay, there you go. You supposed to be doing this, not me.
Oh well, this is a new iPad, and I.
All right. Okay, give me the rankings. Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Now you can boo or hiss. And give your opinion.
Or boo
hiss. And give me your opinion. Because you know what? We got another week before we start picking who we think should be in there.
All right.
CFP ain't got nothing on us.
I'm ready.
Ready?
I'm ready. Number 1, Oregon.
Number 1. Yes, you are right. It's Oregon.
Should stay.
All right. Number 2, Georgia.
They beat up on Illinois.
Number 2, Georgia. They didn't play yesterday.
Yeah.
Number 3, Penn State. They didn't go nowhere.
Okay. Agree.
Number 4, OSU.
Okay, I'm not mad because Penn State did clean it up. Speaking of Penn State, Wisconsin, we did not mention Wisconsin was beating them at halftime.
Yeah, I know. And we said, but Drew Allen got hurt. Let me keep that in mind.
Oh, that's true.
Keep that in mind.
That is true. And it still came back and won.
And next week is gonna. I don't know if it's gonna be questionable. We're gonna keep our eye on that.
They better hope. They better hope he there.
Better hope.
No. Penn State better hope he there. Yeah. Because if not, you definitely in trouble. We're gonna win regardless. We're going to win regardless, but I'm just letting you know, you better hope that he going to give you a chance. Well, every time, Penn State, you can beat Michigan this year. You're not beating Ohio State.
And the backup that came out did a good job.
Yeah, he brought him back.
They said this
he
guy
brought him back.
And so keep a pin in that.
Okay.
Okay. You were right. Ohio State did not fall.
They
left at 4. You told me. Now, here's one might be a shocker. Miami moved up
to number 5. Right. Because Texas only beat Vanderbilt by 3 points. And Vanderbilt's ranked 25. Yeah. They just got ranked last week after they got no respect for beating Alabama. And hypothetically, Texas, you were number 1 a week ago. Not hypothetically, for fact, you were number 1 a week ago. So why are you only beating Vanderbilt by 3 points?
Good point. Because they fell one. They're now number 6.
And did Vanderbilt's quarterback get hurt? No, I made that up. Okay, sorry, y'all. I went too far. I'm so sorry. I'll bring it back.
We apologize.
All right, go.
Okay. Number 7's Tennessee. They stayed where they were because they didn't play.
Okay.
Notre Dame moved up 4.
I'm not mad at that. 8. I'm not mad at that.
They were like 14, 12.
Navy is tough.
Navy is tough. Navy was unbeaten.
Notre Dame was 12. Navy was unbeaten in 24.
Yes. So now they moved up to 8. BYU moved up to 9. They jumped 2.
They beat up on
BYU beat up on little
I wrote it down, but I didn't watch the game.
BYU beat
UCF.
Up, yes. Well, UCF. My boy Casey.
Brigham Young University.
Brigham Young.
And to make note, you mentioned Oregon, they're undefeated. Penn State still undefeated. Miami still undefeated. And BYU is still undefeated.
These are right here. I'm sorry.
No, go.
Oh, you're going to be surprised.
Number
10.
So wait, who's number 9?
BYU.
BYU. Number 8 is Notre Dame. Number 9 is BYU. This is crazy to me. Who is number 10?
Moved up 4? Texas A&M.
Respect. Because let's talk about it.
They started out at like 20. Week 1?
No. Week 1 they were not 20-something. Week 1 they were up at the top. They played Notre Dame and Notre Dame beat them. Quit playing Texas A&M. Let's be for real. Now, they clawed back. They was down to 24, all the things. Yesterday, they were 14. Is Texas A&M a number 14 team? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If you ask me, they should have been 8, or LSU could be 8, and they should have been 9. They're that good. I'm trying to tell you.
All right.
And I feel bad for little LSU because now they got 2 losses, and they same path. Clemson, Texas A&M, LSU. Lost first week. They had a big ranked team opponent, and now they all, up until yesterday, were 6-0.
They were number 20 in week 1. Now look what they had.
A&M was only 20?
Texas A&M was only 20 first week. They lost to Notre Dame.
It was number 20? Okay, sorry. Go ahead then. I said corrected.
I got my fact finder. So anyway, Kelly, listen to this. Who's number 11 now? LSU. They dropped 1. And Clemson, they're both tied.
Wait, LSU dropped from 8 to 11. So they dropped tied 3 with Clemson.
Clemson dropped 2. They didn't even play yesterday. How do you drop? Well, you know what? You know what? I'm not the ranking. I'm not the AP.
It's the vote. It's the votes. They still respect LSU. Okay.
So, all right. So they're tied with Clemson there. Number 13. Indiana.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about? LSU is not number 11. That's Iowa State.
I'm sorry.
Are these your real glasses or are those your real glasses? Iowa State is tied for number 11 to Clemson.
You know what? I get those 2 mixed up.
Indiana's still 13.
Indiana's still 13.
Bama moved up.
Right. I get those 2 mixed up.
It's LSU. You didn't say Indiana. You said LSU.
I did say LSU.
There was like a lowercase L and a capital S and a U.
Anyway, we move right along.
Okay, sorry. Number 13 is Indiana still.
14 is Alabama.
Moved up 1. Like it?
I like it. Boise State moved up to 15.
2.
Yeah.
Like it?
LSU dropped to 16.
Not mad. 3's not a bad drop. 3's not a bad drop. You got 2 losses.
8?
You have 2 losses.
Okay.
You have 2 freaking losses. Okay. Come on. Keep going.
Okay. Kansas State, 17.
They didn't drop?
They dropped 1.
Good. They barely beat Kansas. We didn't talk about that one. 2 points.
Pitt, 18. Moved up 1.
Pitt is still undefeated.
Oh, that is true. Ole Miss dropped 1. They dropped to 19.
Ole Miss dropped after beating Oklahoma? Maybe because of the first half?
Not mad. I don't know.
Okay, go ahead.
SMU moved up to number 20.
And they lost.
They didn't lose.
I mean, they won by 1. Sorry. It felt like a loss. Sorry.
Overtime.
Go ahead.
Okay, you guys. 21 is Army. Moved up
Still
to
undefeated.
What's the matter, you? No, who's WSU?
Washington State got ranked?
Oh my God, you're right.
Washington State is 7-1?
You're right.
Are you kidding me?
Colorado is 23. Wait a minute, I'm looking at that and I'm going, what's the matter, you? I said, who is that?
Wait, how did Washington State become the Washington team in Washington?
I don't know. We will have to.
Colorado is 23. I'm so excited. They looked amazing yesterday. Good damn time. About damn time.
You know what? I
keep going.
Keeping track of
I know. This is
State.
why you should look before, because you are holding up the process.
I sure am. I'm so sorry, folks.
24.
23. 24, Illinois. Drop 4.
They could have dropped them out, you asked me.
They could have dropped them
They
out.
6-2 and they didn't look good against Oregon at all. Look at the score.
25. Oh, Missouri dropped 4. I knew we were going to go drop out, but they kept them.
They should have dropped out. Illinois should drop out. Mizzou should drop out. They're 6-2.
Okay.
I mean, only because guess what?
Let's see who the top runners was. Oh, Vandy dropped out.
They dropped my Vandy out, but he was top runner up.
They dropped out Navy. They dropped Navy out too.
They should have been. They right there, Vandy and Navy. Okay.
Yeah, drop out. Oh yeah, sorry.
Okay.
But Vandy's still hanging in
creeping up.
Creeping
Tulane.
Tulane.
I haven't talked about you, Tulane. I was hype on you a few weeks ago. I seen the show. I haven't talked about you. I got to get back.
We'll get you.
Well, what do you want to watch next week?
Well, you know,
now that you have all the rankings and now that Vandy and Navy are dropped out, I'm sure you don't even want to watch football no more.
I want to watch Penn State and Ohio State. You can keep the rest of the games. I will go in my room and watch it. I want to watch. I want to get that whole effect. I want to be able to say one of them played a dang good game. I want it to be Ohio State.
Okay, well, I'm cheating, and I'm looking now, and I gotta say number one for me is Ohio State, Penn State. It looks like it's going to be
what time?
The game. I think it's 9 a.m. Yeah, it's at 9 a.m. on Fox.
I can't take that.
In Happy Valley too.
Oh,
I know. It's never easy playing there.
Whiteout.
Yeah. Oh. The whiteout energy. What do they call it?
Oh God.
Whatever the hell that means, as the coach said. Actually, Guy, I'm looking at this, and it looks like that is the game. Oh, okay. You got number 18 Pitt versus number 20 SMU, but that is the only ranked game, and to be honest, it's kind of the only one.
You see?
I'm immediately excited about. Now, there's a few little scrappy dappies that they might could fight it out.
Okay, who you have?
Like Nebraska, UCLA.
Yeah.
But that Ohio State, Penn State, I'm with you. I'm gonna watch it.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna watch it top to bottom, front to back, and I'm gonna make sure Ryan Day's on the line if he needs to call me. And that's gonna be it.
Well, there's another little one
Oh.
that I think you might like.
Okay.
I'm thinking, okay, USC Washington. You keep talking about Washington.
Well, now I'm not gonna talk about them.
Okay.
I now want to see who Washington State's playing. Now that they got ranked,
They
didn't flew under the radar on
I
me.
did too. I didn't watch anything Washington State.
Who has? I thought Washington State was like everybody been just beaten.
Okay, we're not going to go into it. And last but not least, this is one I think might be. Now, you may laugh. Ha 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 ha. Clemson, Louisville.
That could be a good game.
That could be
a good game, but I think Clemson's gonna pull it out. Now,
don't say that.
Stranger things have happened.
Duke, SMU,
all of the above. Alabama, Vanderbilt,
Texas
Tech,
Tech, LSU.
Talking?
Yeah.
We can keep going.
We can keep going.
I mean, Kentucky, Georgia.
But I know y'all don't want us to keep going.
Kentucky, Georgia.
Oh God, please.
So, anyhow, well, that's all I got.
And that was enough. So anyway, well, thank you for watching us.
Spooky season is here,
Yes,
especially for Vanderbilt and Navy who dropped out. Ooh.
And thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for coming in today. I didn't know it was bring your pumpkin to work day, but you know what? We'll wrap it up there. I'm Kelly, like the color.
And I'm Guy, like the butter.
And this is Saturday Hangover. Me, my mom, her new analyst. We watching football. We telling you what we think. We telling you what we know or what we don't know. We don't know.
It's
you
the
can
same.
Google it. It's all one bucket. Stir it up. Take a sip and call it a day. We'll see y'all next week.
Hey, stay sweet.